Well, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, to those of us out there that have been Tolkien fans for any length of time, to those of us that have read a lot of his original source material, whether it be the Lord of the Rings collection, of course, or the Hobbit, or any of the Silmarillion, or any of the collected works, the letters, all of that kind of stuff, or even those of you that have actually just gone out there and seen the Peter Jackson movies. I know the Tolkien books are a little bit of a trudge and are daunting for some of us that aren't actually like hardcore readers out there, or maybe just aren't big fans of reading in general. And I understand that and I respect that. I can get that because trust me, don't get me wrong, I loved those books. But God bless Tolkien. That man could write 2 pages describing a valley these guys were walking through for 15 minutes. And it's just like, holy God, I love you, man. But damn. Either way, the books were amazing. They were absolutely great. And of course, Peter Jackson's movies were an excellent adaptation and an excellent representation. And one of the things that a lot of Lord of the Rings fans were hoping for out there was some more good, either live action or animated, just something more on the screen that wasn't necessarily always in book format or audio format and something like that. And obviously, we got the disappointing situation that happened with Amazon with Rings of Power and that absolute abomination. Well, one of the things that a lot of people were very hopeful for out there was an animated series that was coming out, The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim, right? This was supposed to talk about, Helm Hammerhand, and it's supposed to go through all of his story and all of these great battles and all of this other kind of stuff. And one of the problems is there was about, I don't know what it was about maybe 6 months or a year ago or so, I remember hearing a rumor talking about the fact that it was going to end up being all about his daughter, that he was going to end up taking second fiddle to it. And this really made me sad and this really made me disappointed, but at the exact same time, it would not surprise any of us in the modern era that they would do exactly something like this. And it really sucks because there's a lot of people out there in the Fellowship and a lot of other Lord of the Rings fans out there that were actually excited about this, that we were going to get to see a good adaptation of the story, that we were going to get to see some good quality actual Lord of the Rings content, on our screens. Well, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, I am sad to report, I am disappointed to report that it looks like the rumor mill was correct after all, because here we have it from thatparkplace.com themselves, our dear sweet John F. Trent over there. The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim, to introduce long-lost tribe of female warriors led by Helm Hammerhand's daughter. Yeah, boys and girls. And for anybody out there who wants to still hold out hope for this, I don't blame you. And I am totally okay with going, look, we should still give this a fair chance. Maybe it won't be strong women power nonsense. Maybe she won't be the bestest Mary Sue ever. I don't know. But at the end of the day, consider the current state of the Tolkien society. Consider what they've allowed. Consider what the most recent descendant that's currently in charge of all of that kind of stuff and J.R.R. Tolkien's great legacy has allowed to happen and what is allowed to be abused of his great-grandfather's work and all of that kind of stuff. It's one of them situations where none of this would surprise us in any way, shape, or form. And boys and girls, we're going to get into all of the juicy details, but I just want everybody to go ahead and understand that even if you still want to watch this, I fully support you on that one. I will probably still watch this because it's only fair to give it a chance. It's not from the same people as Amazon. It's from a different group of folks. And just like I gave Jodie Whittaker's Doctor a chance under Chris Chibnall, I will be willing to give this a chance as well. But tamper your expectations, ladies and gentlemen, because considering how things have been going in the modern era right now and considering the acolytes of the cult and the infestation of the spirit of the age, it's probably going to be more wham and power nonsense, and our dear sweet Helm Hammerhand will probably end up taking a back seat in what is supposed to be his very own movie. So we're going to check out this article from That Park Place. We're going to get into all the juicy details and see exactly what is going on here. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, or follow if you have not already. Share this out with all your friends and let us know either in the comment section or if you're watching this on the live stream, let us know in the chat what you think about all of this and whether or not this was something you were hopeful for, and if now you're disappointed, or if you're still willing to give it a chance or not. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim, is seemingly sidelining Helm Hammerhand in favor of his unnamed daughter, who will now lead a long-lost tribe of female warriors to reclaim Rohan from an invasion of Dundodins. And that's the other problem, too. His daughter's not even named in the story. And so now they're going to make her the main protagonist and sideline her father. Yay! Women power! In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, writer Philippa Bowens confirmed that the unnamed daughter of Helm would be the main protagonist of the film. She said, color us shocked there. When they suggested anime, that's when my brain really started worrying. Immediately, the idea of telling the story came to me. They had a number of different ones that they were going to pitch me, but I was quite bossy. Oh, she's a girl boss. I wonder what kind of character she wrote. I mean, it's not like we've got an issue with creators, directors, writers in modern Hollywood trying to self-insert themselves into absolutely everything, do we? No, Velma wasn't like that. Kathleen Kennedy hasn't done that to Star Wars or Indiana Jones. No, we haven't seen anything like that in the modern Hollywood. No, have we? And I was like, no, I know exactly what this needs. I immediately felt that what would work for an anime, because it's so character-based and also contained within its own world, it speaks to certain things that would work really well with Japanese storytelling. Yes, because what Japanese storytelling loves the most is a good girl boss to sideline their strong male protagonists. Have you even watched an anime? Speaking specifically to Helm's unnamed daughter, she said, in the appendices where the story is drawn from, we get these quite interesting drawn male characters. Then we get this young female character who is never named, and that was really interesting to me. Yes, because it's a character we know almost nothing about, not even a name, you can gladly pour yourself into it, and then you can always use the excuse, well, I'm not violating the canon, I'm not violating the lore. Tolkien didn't say she wasn't a strong woman girl boss. We know Helm has a daughter, and we know that she was central to the conflict of what that happened. But myself, and especially screenwriter Phoebe Gittins, another woman, were drawn to her. We could feel the weight of being that unnamed daughter. Oh, we could relate to her because she was unnamed. She was forgotten. Which immediately piqued our interest. Who was she? How did she live? Not only is Helm's unnamed daughter, which was the film that has named Hera, wow, Zeus's vengeful wife. I mean, given a lot of it was fairly justified, but wow, Hera? The main protagonist of the film, but according to Drew Taylor at The Wrap, she's also able to ride horses and communes with great eagles. Wow, so she's already going to be better than her father. Furthermore, she calls on the power of a seemingly long-lost tribe of female warriors. Do they have any original ideas left in Hollywood? We've got covens of witches doing this. We had Echo doing this, calling on the power of her ancestors. And now we have Helm Hammerhand's daughter, Hera, who's going to girl boss it by calling on the power of a long-lost tribe of female warriors that Tolkien never described and I'm sure never existed anywhere in the appendices whatsoever, completely and totally made up specifically for this nonsense. And even if it is in there, because I am no Tolkien expert by any means, I'm just your humble common nerd after all, I guarantee you there was no spiritual power to draw on to drive out the Dundalines from Rohan. So yes, it's going to be all about the whammon power, girls and boys. Jonathan Watson of The One Ring reacted to this information. I went through the people of Middle Earth. I went through the letters of J.R.R. Tolkien. The people of Middle Earth, it has the notes to the House of the Elrond, which is part of the appendix to Return of the King. The notes that Tolkien wrote that Christopher Tolkien, his son, put through the ringer to give us guidance and information on how Rohan was envisioned and how the House of Elrond was envisioned to the Return of the King. Let us also went through this here, which is J.R.R. Tolkien's companion guide and reader's guide. It's pretty much everything you could want when it comes to researching characters, people, places in Middle Earth. It's the most complete resource you can get. Shield Maiden is never. There is no shield maidens anywhere in this. Here's the thing. People are tired. I'm tired of the girl boss thing, and the only way to tell a story, the only way to tell an action tale is to drive these girl bosses right into the front, smother us the things we don't believe, and change the story that Tolkien wrote. It's boring, it's predictable, and it's not even good as anything he wrote. And that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what we expected. as soon as we heard the rumors about his daughter being in it, about her being an unnamed character, this is exactly what we expected. Girl boss to the nines. And ladies and gentlemen, for all of us that were out there hoping after the absolute abomination of girl boss nonsense that we got in Rings of Power, the absolute devastation and destruction to the great work of the wonderful and godly man that was J.R.R. Tolkien, to see these kind of abominations continue to perpetuate, to see this kind of desecration of the beloved memory and the legacy of J.R.R. Tolkien is something that deserves to be shamed, boys and girls. And one of the things that we like to do around here on this channel is make shame great again. So it looks like we'll be right. Can we pass judgment till we see it? No. Can we make some pretty fair assumptions based on what they have told us this story is going to be about? Absolutely, yes, 100%. So boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, join with me in making shame great again. And let's shame this abomination back into the dark little corners of fan fiction and made up BS that it belongs in. Let's shame this showrunner. Let's shame these writers. Let's shame the company responsible for allowing this abomination to make it to anyone's viewing screen. Shame them for desecrating the legacy and the memory of the great J.R.R. Tolkien. Shame them for destroying and trying to damage the love you have for the amazing universe that Tolkien created. Do not allow this to go unheard and unchallenged. We will not put up for you damaging and destroying the legacy of Tolkien. The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and everything else that he wrote that goes into that universe deserves to be respected, understood, and studied by people better than you and your self-insert bullshit! It's fucking boring. Like our dear sweet brother Az said, just like your pronoun nonsense is boring bullshit, your unoriginal self-insert fucking narcissism is the same bullshit. It's old hat, it's expected, and it's fucking boring. Go pull an original ass idea out of your ass or quit. You don't deserve to wash the dirty laundry of Tolkien's corpse, let alone self-insert yourself into his great and expansive universe. Make shame great again, boys and girls.